The divine crossbow, blind love, the goose feather, and the tragedy of losing the country are valuable phrases when referring to the period of Au Lac. As for why it is valuable, please sit down immediately. Based on the spirit of voluntary participation without coercion, if anyone is afraid, you can leave. Wait for me to give the lecture and explain your questions. No need to check the old lessons. I will briefly remind you of the events of the previous period. Our country has always been a tempting morsel, eyed by the northern countries from generations to generation. During the Tuk dynasty, upon hearing that the Home King has a daughter as beautiful as a jade maiden, the Tuk King immediately sent an envoy to propose marriage. The Home King wanted to marry her off, but the Lac intervened.
Yes, my lord, I believe this is a trap. She wants to take our land and is using the pretext of a marriage proposal. Your Majesty should consider it carefully.
Okay, cancel the engagement.
Not being able to marry Mi Nương, the Tuk King was furious and instructed his descendants, the Tuk King, at all costs, must seize Văn Lang to wash away this resentment. If they can eat it, they want to smash it. What a bad temper and ill-natured person. It's really strange. By the time of Thục Phán, after many attempts to invade with troops but all failing. Because of this, the 18th Home King became even more complacent, thinking that he was strong and looked down on enemy. Unexpectedly, Thục Phán has hired Gia Cát Lượng, a brilliant strategist, to be his military advisor, organized a modern military system, and brought heavy B-52 weapons to invade Văn Lang once again. The Home King was too busy indulging in feasting and revelry, and when he saw the enemy troops approaching the ramparts, he scoffed and said,
These enemies have eyes, but are as blind as if they don't. Do they not know that I am a descendant of dragons and fairies, yet still causes trouble?
Saying that, he continued to drink wine and enjoy cakes with his close brothers, until Thục Phán brought his army to the gate. Home King panicked and fled. Knowing that he could no longer salvage the situation, he jumped into the well to commit suicide. I don't know why, when mentioning a well, my mind doesn't think of the well in the traditional setting of a Vietnamese village, but rather the well that raises goby fish in the story of Tấm Cám. But anyway, to sum it up, it's suicide in the well. But why a well and not something else? Like cutting wigs, hanging, or self-mutilations? Art had already drawn these symbols. Or maybe the Home King didn't intend to commit suicide, but accidentally fell into the well while drunk. This is careless. Well, anything will do. Well, whatever it is. In the end, after the 18th Home King ascended to heaven, along with the other 17 Home Kings, in 257 BC, Thục Phán successfully conquered Văn Lang and quickly merged the territories of Âu Việt and Văn Lang into the state of Au Lac. In these sessions, many historians praise Thục Phán for choosing the name of the country, with Âu in Tây Âu and Lac in Lac Việt. Au Lac represents the connections between the people of the two countries, Lac Việt and Tây Âu. Thục Phán quickly seized power, taking the little An Dương Vương and moving the capital to Co Loa. Regarding the state apparatus during this period, there was no change compared to the Văn Lang state. Power will be concentrated in the king, and the government will be tightly controlled. To have you visualize, at the top it is still An Dương Vương, which is a man, assassinated by the Lac Hầu and Lac Tướng, who are these two men. The whole country is divided into many regions, each headed by a local general. Back in the village and Cha, there were still local officials at the top to manage and assist. The original structures of Văn Lang state were transferred to Au Lac, but at a higher level with more concentrated power. A highlight during the reign of An Dương Vương was the development in military affairs. However, to be honest, the development was due to circumstances beyond control. If given a choice, who would want to leave their warm and cozy home with their wife and children to fight in a war? At this point, we have to turn back to our neighbor China. At the same time as Anzong Vương, there was the Qin dynasty. At the top, there was Queen Shi Huang, and anyone who frequently watches Chinese dramas here may be quite familiar with this figure. After unifying the country, after many years of chaotic warfare, Queen Shi Huang could not sit still harboring ambitions to invade the Han Hui to expand his territory. The Queen Army deployed their troops very systematically, dividing them into many small units, like accumulating small forces to form a larger one. These strategies were indeed effective, and many of our territories fell into the hands of the enemy. By 218 BC, the Queen General Do Thư led his troops to the western regions, killed the chieftain, seized the land, and then advanced into Lac Viet. Anzong Vương, although a king, was very warlike. He led 500 brothers to fight in the enemy. Sounds similar to the part where tigers and 300 warriors protect their village. Instead of facing them directly to inflict losses, the Queen Army would advance, and the people would gradually retreat to the mountainous forest, creating an effect of an empty garden with no one home. This policy has once again implemented by our military and the people in the history of modern warfare. Learning from successes of previous generations, it truly cannot go wrong. The Queen Army aggressively invaded but encountered nothing but desolate mountains and forests. The people retreated deep into hiding, leaving no food and no one to capture. The scenes where the hungry soldiers cried out, their minds in turmoil. At that moment, what could they do but fight? At this moment, Anzong Vương just sat there chuckling, waiting for the right opportunity to launch an attack with his troops. The Queen Army was ambushed. They couldn't advance or retreat. Checkmate means the end of the game. Do Thư quickly lost his life here. The Queen Army lost their general like a hairless snake, quickly fled, some surrendered. Our soldiers and civilians shouted, "Stop! Who allowed you to run away?" The reputations of King Anzong Vương was further spread wide and far. After the resounding victory, Anzong Vương realized that the matter of foreign invaders was no joke, and he decided to focus on building a strong fortress, leading to the legendary creations of Co Loa. Like, share, subscribe, complete all 3 steps, and then we'll tell the storyteller to continue the tale. Anzong Vương, after the battle with the Queen dynasty, seriously looked at his kingdom and realized he had to do something to protect our beautiful country, and in the end he decided to build a citadel. Thinking it through, he has the soldiers and the people quickly start constructions based on the drafts of first-year students from Hanoi University of Architecture.
But who are you? National hero.
The people worked day and night, and Anzong Vương made rounds of hundreds times to check the progress. When the citadel was built, everyone was overjoyed.
In his opinion, this will be a strong fortress, unshaken by thunder and lightning, undamaged by storms, worthy of being recognized as a World Heritage Site.
I am very pleased. This will be a fortress that no enemy can ever reach. The ministers keep playing their games, but little do they know that heaven's plans surpass human schemes. That very night, a thunderstorm raged, and the fortress, after so many days of constructions, collapsed in an instant. Anzong Vương received the news and immediately rushed to the scenes to investigate, where the neighbors reported that
last night, while I was busy with my skincare routine, I heard the sound of footsteps, like thousands of people thundering towards the city walls. The wind howled terrifyingly, followed by a loud crash that shook the sky. I almost wanted to peek outside, but I was at the final step of my skincare, so I couldn't risk stepping out. I thought it might be ghosts or something as scary like Annabelle.
What? Annabelle? That's all that take you to be scared? Immediately reply my orders to everyone below to urgently rebuild the fortress. This time, it must be built more solidly than before. The people and soldiers, under the encouragement of Anzong Vương, seemed to gain strength, working days and nights to meet the deadlines of the new citadels. This time, everyone was confident that no force could break through this solid wall. But human plans cannot match the cunning of the devil. After just one night, the once impregnable wall was suddenly turned into a pile of ruins. An Dương Vương collapsed, shedding tears. When a man sheds tears, you know how helpless he is. His tears fell. The game ended, but there are the tears of a king. And then, with a wave of a magic wand, an old man appeared out of nowhere and said to An Dương Vương,
The failure to build the fortress must have a reason. The envoy Than Jiang will come to assist the king in the construction. Please, your majesty, do not be hasty.
Thank you, sir. I am the envoy of Thanh Giang, knowledgeable in celestial and terrestrial matters. Under the command of universal communication, I have come to assist the kings in building the city. First, your majesty should order the subject watching this video to give our channel a sub, a like, and a share. Then we will get to work immediately. To save An Dương Vương, you all know that what to do, right? After reaching an agreement, Envoy Thanh Giang said that in that mountainous area, there were gods and spirits causing disturbance all day long, not letting anyone have peace. As long as we send these troublemakers to the kings of hell, I guarantee the city will be built in no time. Hearing that, An Dương Vương quickly set up with Envoy Thanh Giang. Flying as fast as lightning, even Flash would have to bow down. The two made an ambush plan, waiting until nightfall, the peak hour of the gods and spirit, to strike. As soon as they showed their faces, the two of them started chasing them away, causing them to scatter in all directions. Their 3 souls and 7 spirits seemingly lost, to the point where even the gods couldn't find their way home. The climax was when they killed the white chicken, the last remaining essence boiled dish. The next day, as soon as he returned, An Dương Vương recounted the story to the people and called on everyone to join him in rebuilding the citadel once more, promising that this time it would be 100% successful. After hearing this, the people felt as if they had been injected with 10,000 energy rings, all of them eagerly working at full capacity without a moment's rest. Result was in a short period of time, a castle with an immense area, modern spiral interiors, and more solid than any previous castle was born. An Dương Vương named the city Co Loa. It sounded as if he just hired a graduate architect from Hanoi University to design it, rather than an intern. Before parting way, the envoy Thanh Giang even bonused An Dương Vương a divine claw, like a souvenir, but actually a super weapon to protect the citadel. Well, everything for my body is spacious, but why this claw so dirty?
I humbly offer this claw of mine, which can later be fashioned into a crossbow trigger. When enemies invade, 1 arrow will slay 1,000 of them. Guaranteed reliability, with a 7-day warranty before use.
Everything is done. If everything goes too smoothly, then it's not called life. Heading back north with the neighbor, the Queen dynasty has collapsed, and society continued to fall into chaos. Many generals rose up to declare themselves emperors, the most notable being Triệu Đà. It's Triệu Đà again, it's him again. Number 1, I mention him. Number 2, I mention him. Number 3, I mention him. Number 4, I see his face again. For this person, I spent a week researching the genealogy, family lineage, and relatives on both sides. Many interesting details will be revealed in the next video. After successfully defeating the contemporary generals, Triệu Đà officially slammed the table to declare independence from the Queen dynasty and began to eye the land of Au Lac. Every time Triệu Đà let his troops down, they were shot by An Dương Vương divine crossbow, like a shooting fish in a barrel. Just 1 arrow could wipe out thousands of enemy soldiers, causing Triệu Đà troops to lose their morale significantly each time they went into battle. Seeing that this way wasn't working and that way wouldn't do either, Triệu Đà switched to a strategy, diplomacy, sitting and plotting underhanded schemes to seek reconciliations, and sent his son Trọng Thủy as an envoy, while also proposing marriage. During his day as an envoy in Au Lac, Trọng Thủy immediately met Mỹ Châu, the daughter of An Dương Vương. From their first time meeting, Trọng Thủy was smitten by Mỹ Châu beauty and gentleness, and Mỹ Châu also fell head over heels in love, as if struck by a love-lightning bolt. Their feelings for each other progressed rapidly to the point where An Dương Vương, seeing his daughter happy, has no suspicions at all about his future son-in-law. After a period of their feelings ripening, Trọng Thủy decided to take advantage of the opportunity. On a beautiful day, Trọng Thủy kindled a fire with Mỹ Châu in a void as sweet as caramel. I have been here for a long time. I heard that your family has a full option divine crossbow or something. I don't believe this is some miraculous things in this world. Can you show me? I'm afraid if my father finds out, he will get angry. Could it be that you don't trust me? I don't say anything. You don't say anything. Who would know? Hello, Thuy. Have you been standing here since this afternoon? And so, just because of a moment of foolishness, Mitchell showed the magic crossbows to Trọng Thuy. Surely love can blind one's eyes. While Mitchell was distracted, Trọng Thuy broke the trigger of the magic crossbow, rendering it useless. Wait, if one breaks, do you lose immediately? I thought there was many magic crossbows. After completing his father's missions, Trọng Thuy immediately found an excuse to return to his country. The farewell of the pair of birds seemed like a scene from the movie Titanic, but as soon as Trọng Thuy returned his back, he resembled the main actor in the movie that met by director Lý Hải, hastily returning to report to his father. Triệu Đào was just waiting for that, leading his troops down to attack Au Lac. An Dương Vương, as usual, stood on the ramparts looking down and sneered, waiting until the enemy troops were at the foot of the ramparts before bringing out the divine crossbow to shoot. But oh no, it's broken, my dear. The divine crossbow is broken. Killing every one person is difficult, let alone the thousands and thousands down there. After discovering that the divine crossbow was broken, An Dương Vương immediately knew that something was wrong. He frantically ordered a retreat, taking Mitchell with him. The father and daughter began a thrilling escape journey. Dad, where are we going? This is the first series. Mitchell, on her journey, worried about her father when missing her husband, devised a special escape strategy, scattering goose feathers along the path. Indeed, love makes people smarter in a strange way. The believed goose feather coach was working at full capacity, as Dương Vương was preoccupied with national affairs, trying to run and find a hiding place, running and calculating. Little did he know, the enemy was right in the house. Trọng Thuy, thanks to the goose feathers that Mitchell used to mark the way, followed the trail and find the hiding place of An Dương Vương and his daughter. The goose feather was scattered like a red carpet, no different from an ancient Google Maps. How could they escape like that? By the time he reached to the beach, An Dương Vương was exhausted and turned to pray to the river god. The deity appeared and exclaimed the famous line, "The enemy is right behind you." At this moment, An Dương Vương was stunned for 5 seconds, unable to believe in his eyes. It turned out that the traitor is the daughter that he loved the most. In a moment of utmost agony, An Dương Vương had no choice but to draw his sword, sacrificing Mitchell for the greater good. Even at the moment she was killed by her father, Mitchell still did not realize that her great love has caused the downfall of the country, and her father's lifetime of effort has collapsed in an instant. The tragedy is both heartbreaking and absurd at the same time. If I was there, I would also be at the lost.com.vn, has always been involved in this kind of place. After ruthlessly killing his daughter, An Dương Vương plunged into the sea to follow the envoy Thanh Giang. As for Trọng Thuy, after finding Mitchell's body, he was filled with lifelong regret and jumped into a well to commit suicide. Again, it's the well. In ancient time, commit suicide is a well of trend or something, I don't know. Only Triệu Đà, the fisherman, reaped the benefits, sitting idle and enjoying the sweet food. Today's story comes to a close, but there are still many things to discuss. However, we cannot deny the contributions of An Dương Vương. Although the Au Lac Strait did not last long, it remains a significant mark in the Vietnamese history. Besides that, the love stories of Mitchell and Trọng Thuy is still a subject of much debate. Is it true love or not? Or did Trọng Thuy not love but just exploit the love in name to achieve his father's goal? Let me know your guesses in the comment sections. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can come back as soon as possible.